Hey, welcome back to Skaana Exotics. What's better than 7 cats in a trench coat, you might ask? That's right, Isopods in your waterbed. Let's get to it. So, you may have noticed that there's a pot on the table that's not exactly isopod sized, and you are correct. Got one of my favourite pet holes just here, Trinidad Olive, or Neaholve Inse. Reason being is, it refused food, and then the next day, because I realised I couldn't find out if it was alive, I wasn't going to dig it out, so I thought I'll leave it, it's a pet hole, happy days. And I came back to, and it beautifully laid out its whole skin just on its web. It's webbed up quite nicely. I think it's still too small to find out if it's male or female, but all of my teas are female until proven otherwise, is the way that I work, so... Anyway, I'm keeping there because they came out and I want to see how much bigger they are. However, because I picked up the pot, they ran back down into their hole. So they're there for the remainder of, and if I see any movement, I'll shoot in. If not, it's there. So, as by the beginning, we're talking about isopods. As some of you may have seen from the hedgehog episode, we pretty much got a solid 10,000 odd isopods. It's absolutely ridiculous the amount that were in there, but they're doing such a good job at actually eating all the old poo and making an indoor bioactive bio hedgehog enclosure. They just eat poo. They eat poo. It's good. I don't want to eat the poo. They do. It's a good relationship. Anyway, from there, we've got quite a few abnormal blue ones, which I separated some, and one that has been mainly requested by you guys has been a continuation on the oranges, and we're actually going to get a nice close-up on them today. Going through since then, they've actually coloured down a little bit, and I'll say they're much more peach. They're still beautiful. They've got the powder side of it, of the powder blues, while still being different. They're doing amazingly well. They're still continuing. I haven't seen any proven breeding yet, but that's the part that we're going to follow on there. So take this as, I guess, the second episode of the isopod part, but the first part where we're actually looking to see how that's going. What I'll also do is I'll just run down some of the other isopods that I've got, because we've got a few little species here and they just run around doing their little isopod thing. So we've got 5 species of isopod and I guess 1 subspecies. I don't know how this one's going to work with the peaches. If anybody does know about what that works out as, please let me know, because it's something that I'm going to start looking into, but I haven't started looking into yet. I've just seen different colours and gone shiny. So if anybody does know more about the continuation of how that works and such, please let me know. Let's get to the first species of pod. Here's my Isopods tubs. I like to keep them nice and large. They're ventilated stored at the top and they've got nice clippy lids. They've got quite a bit of substrate in there, so if they do want to bury down, they can. A lot of people will leave a little bit of substrate because a lot of them don't dig down a lot. They'll like to just keep around the surface and just actually eat the dead leaves and the dead matter from there. I've liked to build it up a little bit. It keeps them humid, so if I forget anything, they're still quite happy to be left alone, and that's what I like. I like to leave them alone and do their thing. They get fed, they get watered. Apart from that, they're doing their thing. Let me switch cameras, we'll get zoomed in on these. We're going to start with some local ones to me anyway. As I live just near the New Forest, as I went to go and collect some wood and some leaves to bake off, I found a small collection of these guys, of which I didn't really want to drive back for, so I let them start a little colony effectively. I think there must have been about... not many, to be fair, in the actual bag at the end of the day. Possibly about 4 or 5, and they've done fantastically. So let's get in and see what we've got. So we've switched cameras now, and we've got the Oniscus asellus. Oh, it's too many sounds. Oniscus asellus. There we go. And these are some quite nice large ones actually. They get wood from where they came from. They've also got some leaves and some substrate that's created by a few substrates that I put together myself really. When I first got into the hobby, I didn't realise or didn't understand how people made their own substrates. Oh, what? How? Really? You just get what you've got left over and work it to the animal's needs, because you start finding that you've got about 20 different substrates after a while, and you can mix them together to make your own better suited. Anyway, this is a lotus leaf head. So if you've ever had trypophobia or trichophobia, I believe, fear of holes, This is almost certainly where it came from, so if you do, please look away. They love hiding out in there. They can eat it, they can hide in it. It's a perfect, absolutely perfect thing to get. I encourage anyone to get them for pods anyway. You can see so much how they've eaten all around this side part. Really gone up in. It absorbs moisture well, but still contains its actual structure. They can hide in here, and it's cute. They love it. Look at those beautiful colours. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And of course, cuttlefish. Who would have thought? They love it. I like putting a big chunk in there. It just means that if they do need some, they can go to town on it. But by having so many other food sources in here, I actually put some more leaves in there in a mo. By having so many other food sources in here, it means that they can do what they want when they want. And if that's chewing on some wood, perfect. If that's eating some leaf litter, perfect. If that's actually just hiding underneath this log and bundling together, fine, they can. Look at that horrible, just normal one, but that was one of the originals. I think they're doing very well, actually. Haven't seen any fun morphs yet, but hey, there might be at some point. You never know what you're going to find, but currently they are doing quite nicely, getting their yellow colours on. These guys are local to the UK. I haven't done much research on them because, for me anyway, they're just common woodlouse. They're nothing special. They live in this tub, pretty much a mirrored tub to most of the others. A good bit of cork, good bit of cuttlefish, a lotus leaf head, leaves, and wood. That's it. That's the common woodlice. Let's pop on to the next ones. Now we're going to move on to another very popular one within the hobby, especially for reptiles and such. The Dwarf White. You can see one just there, but very poorly because they are so small. There's one in there. There. Right. Little Dwarf White. Perfect. There we go. Right. Let's turn flash off for this. Right, even with the flash off, they are very bright. They are just white, pretty much. Let's see if I can adjust that. There we go. Much darker. So, there they are. Trichorina tomentosa, Dwarf Whites. They are fantastic. They are tiny as well, so there's my finger next to them. They are fully grown. They are not going to get any larger than that. But they're just so lovely. They're so small. They're so different. Whenever they come much smaller than that. And you rarely see them. They do like to hide away quite well. If I lift up this log, do we have? We do. We've got one just there. Beautiful. Log, you should not be in here. How did you get in here? We're going to have words, mister. There's one right up in there. Because that is not one of these. These guys, again, almost identical little Viv. Nice bit of wood, nice bit of cork, nice bit of cuttlefish, and some leaves. It keeps them busy. They keep out of sight, and to be honest, out of mind. Keep them nicely sprayed down, give them a little bit of warmth so they're not chilly, and they're good. On to the next. Now we're coming to the slightly more fun ones. These are my devastators. These are just... These are my actual giant oranges. Look how much they've pooped. These guys are the ones that I give any food that has died to. Then there used to be an Etiopterum, a giant prickly stick insect. You can still see parts of the prickles there. But they have done a fantastic job in just absolutely decimating it. There is my little colony. They're doing really well, actually. I only started with a few, but they are doing good. Oh, incredible! Wow. Okay, so let's have a fun little game here. This obviously was a female. You can see all of the eggs of which the female obviously had in her, and that's a... wow, okay, right. So, what we've got here is the remnants of an Etiopterum, and you can see the smaller eggs just on the side, where obviously they were being made inside of her when she had died, unfortunately. They've now, through being eaten, been extracted, and you've got a small orange one there that was obviously still in development. You've got a very mature egg down here, which now means that there are... wow. I may take them out and put them into a separate enclosure and see if those come... see if they hatch. See if these become the Etiopterum of the birth from beyond the grave. Wow, absolutely wow. Okay, this has turned... this has taken an unexpected turn, absolutely. Wow. Let me know down in the comments what you think I should do, or whether I should let them stay in there for these absolute little monsters, those to eat away and just do their general thing with. Don't fight! Stop it. Let them do their thing with, because as you can see they are a stunning shade of orange. This is... I was not expecting that. That is amazing. I'm actually lost for words at the moment. I'm not sure if I'll edit something in over this, but wow. So yeah, there are giant prickly stick insect eggs that were I guess extracted from the actual... Yeah, I guess the isopods extracted the eggs from the mother post-death. That's metal. Okay. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think I should do with them. My plan at the moment is to take them out and see if they'll hatch, but let me know if I should do something else with them. Let me know if you care as well. I might just be finding this fascinating and nobody actually cares, so I can keep it to myself. Wow, 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 wow. I'm gonna stop disturbing them, because that's amazing. Wow, and wow, that's taken a change. That's gonna be very fun. Okay, next one. These guys can... Wow. And the ones that everybody loves, to be fair. Again, trypophobia, I'm sorry. Dairy cows. Oh, look at them. Porcellia levis, of course. Dairy cow. You can tell why, because they look just like little, is it Frisian cows? The Springtails are doing fantastically. I absolutely love that. When these guys get off and start booming with their pregnancies and such, because they can take a little bit longer, we should see that explode, which thusly means I can hopefully start getting a little bit more exciting... Don't nibble me! Wow, it's nibblins. You can hopefully get some more exciting isopods within some of the other vivs, but until then it's a fantastic breeding area for the Springtails, and of course just them anyway. No exciting news in here apart from they're absolutely decimating these lotus leaves, or lotus heads, which I recommend to everyone. And again, very, very simple setup. Nice bit of cork bark, bit of wood. There were leaves, but that needs to be replaced. A lotus head and cuttlefish. Keeps them happy. I need to spray them with water every now and then. As you can see with the efficiency of those springtails, that means that it's nicely humid in there. You've got a good amount of water, they do. Yeah. 2, 1. These are the powder blues. These are the Wilfred Explosion. Yeah, that's what these are going to be called. They no longer have a Latin name of any sorts. These are the Wilfred Explosion isopods, and these are the Wilfred Explosion interesting isopods. That's not to say that there aren't any interesting ones in here. We did get quite a few little chocolate morphs, but I was too tired at that point. It was like a 2-3 day just extravagant of just cleaning that horrible thing and separating all the pods. I couldn't do it, so actually that'll bring me on to something at the end. We'll talk about these. Anyway, let's get into them. Just look at these. You can already see a couple of the kind of chocolate morphs where they're very much more a little bit browner. You can see the chocolate ones just there where they are definitely that little bit more browner. And you can just kind of go, ooh, something's going on there compared to the more standard blues. Now then, they've munched through pretty much everything that's in there, which is why it is good for a rehousing for them now. If you want to see how they absolutely love these lotus heads, absolutely love them. You can see why they're called powder blues. They've got this lovely powder over them, even when they're not molting. There's absolutely hundreds. Same in here. So many pods. I love it. Love it! And there's so many more that you can't see hidden underneath as well that have dug down into the substrate. So these are the Wilfred Explosion isopods. Hey, hello. And now what everybody actually has been messaging me about. The different morphs. And these are the ones that we will be following the little story of, see how they develop, see if they start culturing and continuing from there and breeding along the way. It's going to be really interesting to see just kind of how they build and if they keep their colours or if they morph back, anything like that. Yeah, like I say, this is what I've been messaged most about, oddly, these and Wilf himself, but let's see them. So, you can see they've got more of a peachness to them without being too different with all the colours and such. I would argue that that is much more of a peach than it is an orange If I really bring the colouring down, then we get a very similar orange to before. But if I turn it up a little bit there, then yes, it's a nice peach. Oh, and there's a Springtails just there. This is actually very good for a phone camera. I'm actually very surprised. Normally I'll be doing any sort of macro with my actual big nice camera, but today we're just doing it with this. So there they are. Those are my morphs. These are the ones that I have separated, and actually, well, if you're here already, you've seen what's going on with them. We're going to continue just keeping them separate. If any of the babies turn out to be grey or powder blue, pet hole hasn't come out at all through this whole time, but at least I know it's alive. I'll probably be trying to see if I can see if it's male or female, but I'm still way too small, I believe. But I've got pretty good macro equipment, so I'll see if I can get up and dirty with it. Those are my pods. Those are my Isopods at the moment. I will be trying to pick up some more at seas later on this month, which I'm ridiculously excited for. My first animal show was seas last year, and I loved it. I didn't know what was going on. I was only into mantids at the time, so walking around there with maybe 3 mantis vendors, and the rest being tarantulas, me going, oh, I'm never going to care about tarantulas. I now care. So it's going to be really interesting going over there, seeing what's going on. Other parts, hit me up in the comments if you actually want any of these. So, as a lot of you may know, I get my way somehow on a lot of things, and nobody really knows why. I do. It's because you can get anywhere just by asking. If you're nice and you ask, great. If they say no, you still know, but you know, they're not going to hate you for asking. So this is my if you don't ask you don't get type thing. Have you got any excess somethings? And are you going to seas? Bring them along. I can swap you some Isopods. I know it's really nothing, but if you don't want Isopods, I'll take it for free. Happy days. But it's the best way of doing, and this community's been fantastic to me so far, so why not share? A small breeding setup of Isopods is normally, I believe, 12. So hit me up. If you're after some Isopods and you're going to seas, see if there's something that we can trade. I know it's not much, but you know what? Who cares? Hit me up if there's something to trade. If not, I'll probably just pot some into a pot anyway and bring them up with me. Let me know down in the comments. It would be great to find out from you guys. I think that's everything from us here. Until next week, which will probably be a rundown of maybe tarantulas or maybe everything, seeing how busy I get. I'll probably be prepping for seas in the sense of I want to make sure I've got all of my containers and everything ready. I'm still considering as to what to be getting. A lot of the time I go by the factors of surprise me. Weird and wonderful, make it new, make it exciting. I like my blues, I like my purples, I like my interesting. This year I'm looking to get an L-Phalanx. They just look too much fun not to. I've got a spare Viv which should be able to pick him up nicely, and hopefully it's as good as a thing. The other which I think everybody's looking for, as they always do, but I might be going in for, I've got a nice empty Viv that would do very nicely with a communal Balfouri. So who knows, I might see what I can find up at seas, or you never know. Ian, if you're watching, I know you've got some fantastic Balfouris. If they have an egg sac that you just don't want, you know where I am. Well, kind of ish, or you get the gist. Just give me some spiders. Just give me some spiders. Anyway, I've had a lot of people ask about seas, and yes, as you know now, I am going, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody up there. If you see me, just grab me. Well, maybe not grab me, but tap me on the shoulder. We'll have a little chat about something. I'm just going to be too excited the fact that I'm going to be there again. I may be tired because it may be like a 4-hour drive, but we'll see. We might stay up at my friend's house the night before, in which case I may still be tired because we would have been drinking and playing games, so either way, you can't win. One way or another, I plan on being there for the majority of the day, and you know what? I plan on winning that raffle as well. If you haven't seen the raffle, go check it out. There's always fantastic things. Last year I won some Turkestan roaches. This year I want to get more than Turkestan roaches, so yeah. As always here, if you haven't already, subscribe down below. It helps out the channel. Still in early days actually. We're coming up to our 2nd month on YouTube. Oh, so old. We're gonna learn how to start, I don't know what baby terms is at 2 months, maybe it's babbling or something. So soon we're gonna be into the babbling stages. Then we might start actually developing, I don't know, eye contact or something. let's see how this channel goes. Let's see if we can get it onto full-fledged, I don't know, toddling stage. Who knows? I don't know, baby development, who knows? So yeah, that was a long-winded way of saying subscribe down below. Like if you haven't already. And like I said, comment things down below. I love hearing from you guys, and I love commenting back. It's good to see people in the community learning and actually appreciating what's going on here. Hopefully you've appreciated isopods. What do you call them? Write them below. Isopods, woodlouse, roly-polies. I had someone call them potato buds. Anyway, until next time, spread love. Isopod love.